Hey everyone, so this is Japanese 101. Today we're going to start our easy Japanese, the very beginning first class. And our textbook actually is Genki. Well, you guys know most of Americans learn Japanese use the textbook of Genki. So that's why I choose the most common textbook for you guys if you want to learn Japanese. And the first lesson we're going to do actually is greetings. So maybe some of you guys already know some greetings, but we're going to look at some of the greetings. Alright, so first one, good morning. How to say good morning in Japanese? Well, the most casual way in Japanese saying good morning is ohayo. Okay, you can say with me ohayo. This is the slow version. Normal version is ohayo, like kids and or even classmates, and you go into school, college, and you see each other, good friends to each other, say ohayo, and that is you also see a lot of animes have that. Okay. But sometimes in the workplace, you say to your teachers in schools or college, or even you're in a workplace, you see a boss or your co-workers, you don't know them really well. You don't really say Ohio because you did not really express enough respect to the authority, to what they deserve. So that's why we use a more polite version. And we say Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu. So that's a slow version. And normal version is Ohayo gozaimasu. So that is what it is. So repeat one more time. The casual good morning is Ohayo. And the more polite version of good morning is Ohayo gozaimasu. Okay? Alright? Now move on. After good morning, you have good afternoon. So afternoon, and you can use in the afternoon and before nighttime at 6 o'clock. So you're gonna say konnichiwa, konnichiwa. Okay, the slow version and normal speed. Konnichiwa. So you can see, you can say this when you see your friends or neighbors or your co-workers or your teachers, and good afternoon, you can say that. And how about good evening? After 6 p.m. you can say good evening. Good evening is konbanwa, konbanwa. Okay, very easy. I'm sure you guys have already know it in Japanese and animes and those things. So let's review a little bit. Ohayo, ohayo gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa. Very easy, right? Right. So next one is even easier. Say goodbye. You guys already know that. Some of you for sure is sayonara, sayonara. Okay. So when people say that, usually it's more polite, and another situation would be you possibly not knowing whether you will see that person again next time or not. So you will say sayonara. Sometimes teachers will say to students sayonara, or see you next week or something would be another expressions. But it pretty used very much to strangers, to teachers, or to coworkers, or to people you don't know very well, or you don't know when you're going to see that person again. Alright? So after saying good evening and it's time to bed, it's time for bed, and you say good night. It also is like good morning. You have two kind of version for that. And for the casual version is oyasumi, oyasumi. Okay, and oyasumi, you can say that to your close friends, your family members, or your boyfriends and girlfriends and those things, or husband and wife. You say oyasumi. But sometimes you say in more polite way. We say oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai. It's more polite way. So you can say that to some of the authority. For example, in a family, in Asian families, they say like parents and grandparents would have a little bit higher authority. So you also show them respect in those situations. So it'd be more polite to say oyasumi nasai to mom and dad and grandparents. Alright, now we're gonna move on to the next one, the easy one. Just like goodbye is that kind of easy level. It's thank you. You have to say thank you in Japanese. It's arigato, arigato. That is the casual version. It's again just like good night and good morning. And we have a more polite version is arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. So when you say to a stranger or somebody help you on the street and the policeman help you for some reason, or anybody you do not know that person really well, and or anybody have the authority above you, anybody maybe older than you, and you use arigato gozaimasu to show your appreciation with a more polite, respectful way. Alright, so sometimes we step on people's shoes and we did something bad, and we're going to say, excuse me. Just like in a bus or subway, and you accidentally step on somebody's foot, and you say, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. And that time you say, sumimasen, sumimasen. Alright, so the other person say, oh, no, it's fine, it's fine. You say, iie, iie. Okay, it's very easy. Now we move on to like a little interesting way when people leaving the house will say, oh, I'm going out, and the other person will say, oh, okay, please be safe and have a fun trip or something, translate back to English. But it's really unique in Japan, people are saying that. So the person going out will say, itadakimasu. And the person who said, giving a response to the person who said going out would say itterashai. Okay, so it's very unique in the culture that Japan really value the person at home, and saying, well, I'm going out, and the other person will say, well, yeah, please be safe, I'm here waiting for you, some sort like that. So it's really warm, heartwarm feelings of the home. I have family members there. So when you come back, you will say, oh, I'm back. And then the other person will say, welcome back. So the other person say, I'm back, and that one is tadaima. And then the other person saying, welcome back, it is okaeri nasai. Tadaima, okaeri nasai. Okay, one more time. Ittekimasu, itterashai. Tadaima, okaeri nasai. Okay, very good, easy. Alright, so we move on to the next one. Is when you eat. Before you eat, Christians pray. But before Japanese eat, they usually say, itadakimasu, itadakimasu. And translate back to English is like, I'm going to eat now. And then after finish eating, we usually say thank you in English, and thank you for your host, and thank you for your hospitality or something. But in Japanese, they say gochiso sama, gochiso sama. Basically, it's saying thank you for your food, thank you for your preparation, thank you for everything you have done, and appreciation the meal you just ate or you get prepared. So one more time, itadakimasu, and then gochiso sama. Alright. So I think this is all for today's lesson. I will repeat one more time for everything. Okay, good morning for casual form, ohayo. Good morning for more polite form, Ohayo gozaimasu. And then good afternoon. Konnichiwa. Good evening. Konbanwa. Bye bye. Sayonara. Casual form of good evening. Casual form of good night. Good night. Oyasumi. And then more polite form of good night. Oyasumi nasai. And thank you. Casual form. Arigato. And thank you. More polite form. Arigatou gozaimasu. When you step on somebody's shoes or foot and you say, excuse me, that is sumimasen. And the other person will say, oh, it's fine, iie. When you're going out to the door, you say, ittakimasu. And the other person say, itterashai. When you come back to the door, you say, tadaima. And the other person say, welcome home or welcome back. That means okaeri nasai. Before you eat the meal, you say itadakimasu. I'm going to eat now. After you eat the meal and you want to appreciate the person who prepared or the food in front of you or you are eating, gochisousama. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Congratulations, you finished the first class of Japanese 101. I will see